You may remember that LeBron James,
I remember.
a little out front there supporting the Indians during the World Series, a little hometown support there. And Wade, of course, he was the Cleveland or nothing, and there was a lot of shaking of fists. Wade, of course, longtime supporter of his hometown Chicago Cubs. They made a bet during the World Series, and of course, Chicago won. So LeBron has to pay that off by wearing a full Cubs uniform to the arena tonight. Take a look here.
Mr. James, let's talk. I got some ideas for you. Congratulations, Cub.
I like that little claymation imagining of what this is like. Do you see Bill Murray in the car there? That was from Uninterrupted. That was very good. That was very nice. I mean, well, LeBron said he was going to wear the full uni tonight.
I can't wait to see this.
No cleats, but he said down to the socks he was going to wear everything, and you know it's going to be tailored, right?
This will be the most expensive Cubs uniform ever produced that LeBron will wear tonight.
The most anticipating watch for ESPN.
Right? I think we're going to have live uniform cam people, so just tune in, because as that bus comes in, we will definitely see it. I think this is so much fun. I love that these guys did this. I love that they're playing into it with the claymation. So I just love that they're leaning in. This is why people love the NBA, right? Is this personal stuff that seems to go on between guys. And we were talking at the top of the show about their friendship.
Yeah.
But you get this
Yeah,
kind
you
of
see
stuff.
the fun side of these guys, although they're great competitors, but to see this fun side with a friendly bet.
Also, let's see what Dwyane brings to the fashion table tonight, too. Something tells me Dwayne's been planning for tonight as well. He doesn't take any half measures either.
Right. Do you guys think, have any other people in Chicago who play basketball worn a baseball uniform before? I can't remember. Wait. Oh, yes. Oh, there they are. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Fair ball.
He wore the cleats, though, so there we got to go there. I think people are happy that Michael took that uniform off, and I think
there's a couple
people in
banners
Cleveland,
above our head.
exactly. I think people in Cleveland will be
well.
happy when LeBron takes his uniform off
He
today.
played well.
You're a baseball
You're
player.
a baseball guy too.
Third ball.
Yeah.
Tracy pitched, and your whole life could have been different, Tracy.
I know.
You'd be sitting on Baseball Tonight set instead of our set.
I still could be playing baseball right now.
So the floor was too wet for us to play in Philly. So what up? Basically just wasted the trip, wasted the day. Ooh. I mean, the little big homie got something.
Ain't gonna ruin our night.
Off day, it already started. Good game. Now we gotta wait for our plane. I think our plane is in New York, so gotta pass the time.
There's seriously nothing about the Sacramento Kings team that doesn't amuse me. I would pay such good money for a Boogie Cousins reality show. Like, can you imagine if they had like Boogie 24/7? I mean,
It's got to be on HBO.
This was after the game. Well, this is not going to be on. Yeah, it cannot be on this
No
network.
family show.
No, absolutely not. It might not be a little racy for HBO, actually. I mean, this was after, right? Their game was canceled because of moisture in the court in Philadelphia. I think it's hysterical.
They had to wait for their plane. The plane wasn't due to come pick them up until later that night, so the plane had to come get them. They had to kill time.
Have a Coke and a smile.
Right? I don't think that was a Coke.
Little spike with something.
I mean, listen, I've been in that visitor's locker room in Philly. You got to do something to spice it up. There's not much there to it.
Let's move on to actual basketball, shall we? The game of the night last night. Clearly, the double OT heavyweight bout between the Rockets and the Warriors. Houston snapping Golden State's 12-game win streak. And Trace, do you think we learned more about the Rockets last night or the Warriors?
My Rockets. Absolutely, my
Yeah.
Rockets, yes. Because these guys with the, D'Antoni offense, I mean, they're so exciting to watch. They're going to put up threes. We all know that. When they're hitting them threes, they can beat anybody in the league. Now, they also can lose to anybody in the league as well. But last night, having James Harden orchestrate the offense, he's a bona fide scorer, triple-double. You have Ryan Anderson shooting the ball the way he did. You have Eric Gordon coming off the bench. God knows, I hope he stays healthy, because that'll help us out a lot. And then you have Trevor Ariza. I mean, these guys can compete with anybody when they're playing this type of way. But when they're not making shots, then it's bad.
Do you notice, Brian, that last year it was those Rockets, and that this year it's us when he's talking about the
By the way,
Rockets?
do you like those uniforms?
I'm just saying.
They were in disarray last
Do you
year.
like those uniforms, those black uniforms?
No, I don't.
I wasn't a fan of those. They look like the Raptors.
I like the gray ones.
But how about Sam Decker? Sam Decker hasn't played minutes like that since he was at Wisconsin.
I thought
the
doing
Rockets
well.
some confidence. And
look, so many possessions at the end of that game came down to the last 5 seconds, and they were able to execute and deliver, get a layup or a three. Ryan Anderson had
Eric
Decker, Sam Decker. It was terrific play under pressure by the Rockets. Does it mean anything in the long term? I don't know. But their schedule's been really, really hard. And their schedule's about to flip.
This is my concern, though. My concern is James Harden has to do so much. I mean, he has to do so much creating for these guys. And it scares me when he goes out of the game, the offense doesn't flow the same.
Well, first of all, I think he wants to do that much, though. So with a guy whose usage is that high when he wants it to be, he is obviously happier, and then that everything is going a little bit more smoothly. I liked last night that defensively, they looked like they were focused and came to play. I mean, they are never going to be an elite defense in the NBA, but look, going toe-to-toe with the Warriors requires playing some defense, and they showed up for that last night in a way that, frankly, we were critical at times.
I will say this.
They haven't before.
They're going to have a decision in the next 72 hours about Donatas Matajunas, who's about to sign an offer sheet with the Nets. If I'm the Rockets and that offer sheet is anything reasonable, I'm matching it because this team looks like it's going to be able to do something. Like I said, their schedule has been very hard. It's going to flip here. They were a team that we were like, maybe they're a 7-8 seed. Boy, they're playing right now. They look like there could be a top 4 seed. And so it wouldn't surprise me if the Rockets keep Matajunas and because they want to add him to this roster.
So this is the secret. Play really badly one season. Everyone will underestimate you going into the next season. And
Trace will disown you.
Right? Then he'll come back. Then everybody, like all the fans, will come back and be excited about you. I was excited watching that game last night. I thought it was a lot of fun basketball. And of course, one of the most controversial moments of the game came with 2:14 to go in the second overtime. Yep, Draymond Green assessed a flagrant foul for, you guessed it, a leg kick. This time the victim was James Harden, getting a Draymond sneaker to the head, and the subsequent free throws helped seal the win for Houston. So, Brian, how much of an issue has this become for Golden State?
Well, there are people who will tell you that had he not scissor kicked Steven Adams last year, he wouldn't have been suspended for Game 5 of the Finals a few weeks later, and they wouldn't have lost. So you could argue that kicking has already contributed to a certain extent, costing them a championship. And look, there were a lot of things that happened in this game last night. You can't say that, but it was a huge moment in the moment. And look, the rule is you cannot kick players. You can't scissor your leg up over your waist and drop it down on the guy's face. That is against the rules.
I get that, but last night I don't think he tried to do that intentionally. It looked Draymond is not an athletic guy.
If I intentionally elbow you in the head, it would still be a foul.
Draymond is not an athletic guy. So
this man is an NBA champion.
He is. I'm not knocking Draymond. I'm just saying when he jumps up in the air, his balance is just all off, and that's his way of gaining his balance.
Tracy, there's 400 people in the NBA. There's only one guy kicking people left and right. Stop kicking people.
Look, the bottom line is it is specifically against the rules. And they heightened and tightened the rule over the summer. The memo went out. They called it the Draymond rule, basically. I mean, hand checking used to be okay, and now that they've tightened the defensive rules. I mean, there are things that you could do at one point in the NBA. You can't punch someone in the NBA anymore. You used to be able to get away with punching someone on the court. It's against the rules.
It's hard to take that away from him because clearly that's who he is when he jumps up in there.
Fine, don't take it away from him, but you're going to get flagrant fouls for it. And the Warriors were running around after last night's game, ranting and raving about how unfair it was. I mean, Draymond didn't do it with the media, but there were other people in the building complaining about it. By the letter of the law, that was a foul. Bottom line, it's not.
That was a flagrant foul last night.
It's not because they think Draymond's a bad person.
Did you see?
It's just because it's against the rules.
Did you see a couple of possessions later on when he got punched in the face?
Yes. Right? And his point was that should have been a foul.
It should have been a flagrant foul. He got hit in the face.
Right.
And I'll say this: at the last play of regulation, he scissor kicked Decker and knocked him down. That they just let go. I mean, he got away with the kick earlier than that.
So what are you saying? The referees are inconsistent on their calls, right?
I know, but nobody wants more calls in a basketball game. So let's all be careful what we ask for, please. Thank you. Anyway, last night's game was on TNT. We did get some interesting comments from our friend Charles Barkley on the Warriors. Look, he's long been a critic of their style of play. He's reduced them to a jump shooting team. But this time he did take it further. Take a listen.
You're really a Golden State hater. There is no
Just can't
way.
wait for
You have
game
never,
2.
in the last 2 years, this team has been to the finals. At no point ever on this show have you ever said they were the best team in the West.
Because
in 2 years, and they've been to the final twice. That is blasphemous.
I'm just saying.
Come on, man.
I'm never listen.
Blasphemous.
Maybe I'm old school, but I'm never gonna like that little girly basketball where you have to outscore.
Well, at least you finally came out and said something like that.
Look, I worked with Charles for 3 years at TNT. We've been friends for a lot longer. I love that man like a big brother. I did text him last night, and I said, Chuck, think about how it feels for girls watching you to hear you use girly or girls as a substitute word for weak or lame. It's not okay. And his point back to me was that he was just having some fun, and that, as he put it, quote, intent matters, and he is right, it does. But to borrow one of Chuck's own favorite phrases, in my opinion, that is still not good enough
Good
of a
one,
reason
Rachel.
to feel okay about using that expression. And this isn't a PC police thing. I'm not offended in any way. This is just about girls out there who love watching Chuck talk about basketball as much as I do, who shouldn't have to grow up feeling that they are the living human stand-in definition for being less than or weak. And frankly, young boys shouldn't be growing up thinking that about girls either. Where are you, Tracy, on this?
Yes, he used a bad substitute word. I'm a fan of basketball, whether it's men or women, college or the pros. I definitely think that was disrespectful towards women basketball. On another note, I think him saying that, the way they play is that type of style, I disagree with him in this sense. It's the evolution of our game, right? That is our style. Now, some may say, well, Charles, back when you played, you backed your opponent down for 15 seconds. Like, that was pretty boring to watch. You know what I mean? So it's the evolution of our game. I think he has to get over, guys taking multiple threes.
It's coded language, but I'll just leave it at this. Tell Draymond Green he plays girly basketball. I mean, that's the Warriors play.
Right, but you're doing it too now.
Now it is soft. The game, I've said, is soft.
Take the word out, put another word in. Tell Draymond Green he plays soft.
Soft.
Right. Tell Zaza Pachulia he plays soft.
Yes,
right.
yes, not girly.
Let's see Charles take some elbows from Zaza and see if it's soft.
I will say, of course, the Warriors' ultimate revenge in this is always the photo, right? And Chuck, being a very good sport, did pose for this photo. I don't know if we can show it of him. Yeah, where he said that a jump shooting team couldn't win an NBA championship, and then after the Warriors won the championship, someone sent him this shirt, and he was a good sport.
By the way, the Cavs are a jump shooting team too, so you could almost rechange the colors and put two.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a team that has played in 2 championships back to back, and possibly may play in a third. So.
And I love Charles, still love Charles, and we'll move on from there. All right, we are going to take a quick break here.
It's a make or miss league.
It's a make or miss league.
Make or miss.
It's a make or miss league.
Make or miss.
It's a make or miss. It's a make or miss league.
Look how fancy we are. Make no-look dimes. Marcus All went over the shoulder. Perfect no-look assist on the
do that
fast
while
break.
you're ahead, not behind.
One of the best big passing big men in our league.
Yeah, it doesn't really get enough credit for that, right, Trace?
Not at all.
All right, we go on to missed punishments. Doc Rivers fined $15,000 for his tirade and criticism of the officiating. Actually, a little lighter
That's
than
it?
norm.
Doc makes about $90,000 a game. I just want to point that out.
Hey,
So,
man.
I mean-
don't count another man's money.
Everyone can use $15,000, Brian. Make plans. Mavs point guard Darren Williams opened a mixed martial arts gym in Dallas. Says he plans to compete in the octagon after his basketball career is over. What
I
do you
don't think he should be talking about the end of his career right now.
As long as his
Wrong signal is sent.
As long as he stays shape and
Oh,
doesn't
look
go
at
up like
that.
some of these guys retired.
See, I think he would like it if that's what he looked like. I think he'd be happy. Missed balance last night. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson made Malcolm Brogdon fall with a crossover. Finished at the rim. Great move for bad defense, Trace.
That was terrible defense.
But what's the finish? The jump stop was just as impressive. It was a better finish than it was a cross.
Straight clumsiness right there.
Make roughhousing, a lot of chippiness across the NBA last night, guys. Several incidents in several games. Tracy, you like this? You like the old school basketball?
We had some physicality in the games last night. Yes, yes. Oh, yes. I love it.
You did have some physicality.
Yes,
I
Bobby
believe
Jackson.
that we could
Yes,
show.
Bobby Jackson. Grab him.
That,
Get
by
it,
the way,
get it.
that-
Slam.
Oh,
Yes.
Did that
Hold
cost
up
you
the arm.
Yes.
Oh, come on. And the old
I
school
think
probably didn't call him in here. Hey, look who's joining us.
What's up, Bron? Don't throw some strikes there. What you used to pitch in the Negro leagues, that boy.
Why is he wearing the road jersey?
Oh, wow. This is what he was wearing today. We'll get him tonight. That's good. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for tonight. We got a lot to come on ESPN.